Welcome to this Messages from Deceased Loved Ones Tarot Pick a Card. I'm Rosetta, and here's how this tarot reading works. You're going to pick one of four cards. I'm going to explain what the meaning of these cards are in a moment. You're going to choose one of these cards, and based on the card you chose, I'm going to timestamp in the description below exactly where you can find your specific reading with messages from deceased loved ones, messages from departed loved ones. Okay, so depending upon who you would like to come through for you, you're going to choose one of these four cards. Now, we can't guarantee that the person that you would like to have show up for you is the person who actually has the message for you, but I encourage you to hold that thought of whom you would like to hear from as I shuffle the cards for each of the specific readings. So if you're interested in hearing from a child, a departed infant, a departed child, you'll choose the Page of Cups. If you're interested in hearing from a young person, so maybe a teenage or young adult person in your life, then you're going to choose the Knight of Cups. And then the last two cards are relating to a female adult, a person who classifies herself as female, and adult male person, no matter what the age. All right? So if it's a female loved one that you want to have come through, whether or not that person was a mother, you want to choose the Queen of Cups. And if it's a male person that you'd like to have come through, you're going to choose the King of Cups. All right, guys, please make your choice. And we're going to read them in this order: 1, 2, 3, and 4. And timestamps, as I said, in the description below. Let's get started, everyone. Welcome, Group 1. So as I'm shuffling the cards for you, everyone, please focus your mind on what you want to know in this reading. As we say, this is a group reading. I love to do these messages from departed loved ones, readings 1-to-1 with people. And in that case, you're getting more specific information about the person that you're interested in hearing from. But here in this group reading, I'm hoping that at least some part of this reading is going to resonate with you and give you that feeling that you did hear from, if not the person you asked to hear from an important departed person in your life. All right, sometimes it comes across that the person you hear from is even an ancestor that you didn't know in this life. All right, so let me give you a moment in silence to focus on what you want to know, who you want to hear from, and we'll begin. All right, let's see what we have for you, Group 1. So we're reading, because of the card you chose, we're reading for a young person who has passed, a child, perhaps an infant. Make a little more space here. All right, Group 1. So the person who is coming through for you is someone who feels very strongly the loss of being with you. and is also feeling your own sorrow around this situation. Interesting thing here is right away to notice that we have 2 of the queens. So there are 4 queen cards in the tarot deck, and we have 2 of them. They're both in reverse. So I'm feeling that this person is saying to you that in a couple of significant ways in your life, you have felt stopped. You have felt like you have not been able to move on. You're feeling anger, but you're turning the anger inwards. And you're feeling that somehow you could have made a choice that perhaps would have saved the situation. Or if this person is not someone who was under your care, then you're still having that nagging feeling like the wrong choice was made. This person could have been saved. It shouldn't have happened this way. And it was really kind of a foolish mistake, a mistake that could have been avoided. Following on from the 2 of Pentacles, we have the Temperance card in reverse. So another clue, it's just you're feeling so wrong, so wrong, so wrong. The wrong things were done. We've got 2 representations of cups here. One is a Major Arcana card, and one is a Minor Arcana card. And they're both in reverse. It's like it's spilled milk, right? It's just... The situation is sadness. So we've got the situation here, and as far as this person is telling the story, so this person's telling the story from her perspective. And here, right in the right corner, Knight of Wands. This person wants you to move on. This person wants you to live the life that he or she didn't get the chance to live. This person wants you not to be in any sense of guilt about what happened or what was done correctly, what was done wrong, who was to blame. This person is just saying, make me proud, be strong, and go forth and live that life that would make me proud. Live that life I didn't get to live. Okay, let's see what else this person may have to say to you. We've described the situation. We also have the message from this person about what she or he wants you to do, how he or she wants you to live. What else do we have for you here? All right, so this person is saying, please don't continue to judge yourself or to judge other people about what happened. And please know that, so this is the World card. In this deck, this is the Dreaming Way Tarot. In this deck, this is kind of a weird depiction of the World card. So instead of the typical representation, which is a beautiful woman dancing in an oval that represents the entire world. The world is hers. Instead, we're looking at kind of an old guy sleeping in a chair. So here in this card, we're looking sort of at the end of a life well lived rather than the beginnings of life, the fulfillment of life. Okay, so this is saying to me that this person is telling you, even if he or she had lived to be 100 years old, it would not necessarily have been a better outcome than where this person is today. She is trying to tell you that she or he is very happy where she is, very fulfilled, very satisfied, and is not grieving that she didn't get to live longer. But she also wants you, following on from the Knight of Wands, she wants you to go forth. She wants you to live the life that she didn't live because she's trying to say to you, you were meant to be here longer. Your mission in life is longer than this person's mission had been. And we're all here as long as we need to be to fulfill what we need to complete as souls. And each soul is different. Each soul is unique. Each soul came with a different mission and purpose. So she's saying, enjoy, if you should live to a very, very old age, enjoy every part of it. Enjoy your journey. And she is there watching you, cheering you on, very interested in what you create in your life, where you go, the adventures you have, and what you do with those adventures. Whose life do you impact? Who are you important to? What is the legacy that you leave? All of those things are things that this loved one wants you to explore. All right, group one, that is what I have for you. I'm hoping that this reading spoke to you in some way. If it did, would you please like this video and leave a brief comment below? Sending you love and blessings. And there are many videos here to explore. So I have my monthly tarot forecast by zodiac sign. I also do a weekly reading. I would love to have you with me on some of those if that strikes your interest. Blessings, everyone, and hope to see you on another one of my videos very soon. Welcome, group number 2. You chose the Knight of Cups, which tells me that the person you're looking to connect with is a young adult, perhaps an older teenager. And this is the person you'd like to hear from in this reading. So as I shuffle the cards, please focus your mind on what you would like to know. We know, as these are group readings, we can't always speak to everyone who's trying to connect with someone who has departed. That's what one-to-one readings are for. But yet, I hope that the more that you focus your mind on what you would like to hear, what you would like to learn, it's going to help me choose cards that tell you or give you at least one piece of insight that you really want to know about the person you're asking about. So let me just leave you in silence for a moment as I continue to shuffle, and please focus on your intent. Who do you want to connect with? All right, let's see what we have for you. So your person here, represented by the Knight of Cups, is telling me that he or she was a very magical person in life. So she has the Magician under her, and she's saying, you know, whenever I like to use the feminine pronoun because I feel like it hasn't been used enough in our lifetimes. But when I say she, if I don't say he or she, just know that whichever the gender of the person you're asking about, we have you covered here. So she's saying that she was full of interest in all kinds of things in life. She might have been interested in magical things. She might have been interested in spiritual things, but very interested in what was beyond this life. But yet, she was very practical. So unlike many people who are interested in spiritual things or magical things, she was grounded within the family. So she either was a very happy member of a family group, very happy within the family. She or he might even have been a young father or a young mother. And she was very grounded in this life as well. So while she was such a magical, such a magnetic person, nevertheless, she didn't want to be seen as, so she liked being with people. She didn't like, we're not looking at the reading right here of a very, very loner or introverted person. We're looking at a person who accepted all, who pretty much loved all. She was not a judging person. She was not separating herself from other people in a tower. She was very involved. But she's a little concerned that possibly you may be grieving, and it's not the time for you to grieve, it's the time for you to live. She's saying, come on and be a little more like me. Here is she, okay? So whoever this person is, this I'm seeing as a gregarious, talkative, love of life type of person. And she would like to see you also be. All right, let's see what else we have, though. Okay, so I'm looking at your concerns. I'm looking at what else she may have to tell you or he may have to tell you. And I'm looking for anything else I can tell you today. Okay, so this is a very strong message group, too, of your person that you're interested in hearing from, wanting you to get outside yourself, stop crying over spilt milk, so to speak, and to realize the joy of life that you too have. So this person is concerned that you might not be living your life as joyously as you could, or taking part in the fullness of life in as much as you could. So this person really wants to encourage you to do that. We see right under the card that represents your loved one, the Magician. Let me get this in focus. Hello. We have representing you in reverse the Queen of Wands. And I find that very interesting because the Queen of Wands is a very magical card as well. So we see it depicted a little bit differently in this deck, but she usually has a black cat with her. She is master of the natural world. So we see someone who's very connected to nature, very connected psychically as well, and might have some of those powers of intuition. So we're talking about you here. So your person wants you to reclaim all of the joy of living, and also wants you to reach out in friendship. Okay, this person, he or she feels that you've been locking yourself away. Even the Hermit is out looking for truth. But we had this in reverse. It's like your loved one or your person is almost afraid that you've given up, you're not looking. Easy to have happen in these times of COVID, right? But what the person wants you to do is reach out in friendship. Make the first move, I hear this person saying. You need to do it. Make the first move. You need to do it. Stop waiting. Start living, this person is saying. So let's see if there's anything else for you. I sort of feel that we're not entirely complete yet. All right, your person wants you to get involved in volunteering, wants you to get involved with bettering the lives of others. So I'd be really interested to see if this resonates with you at all, because this is pretty specific. So not only does this person want you to go out and live life to the fullest, but this person wants you to benefit others. So I'm wondering whether, depending on who you wanted to hear from, was this a characteristic, was this a trait of this person who has passed, this young adult or young person who has passed? This person wants you to make the lives of others better and wants you to move forward on this now. So this person is saying to me, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You know what to do. And notice how both of these are riding in the same direction or moving in the same direction. So we're looking to the left. So I'm wondering whether this charitable work or this work to benefit others that your person wants you to do may very well have something to do with your past or even this loved one's life. All right, so if there's something to do with the interests of your person, or your own interests, or something that the two of you shared in the past, or something that the circumstances of your loved one's passing, now you want to help others in that same situation. But there's work for you to do that is going to not only be beneficial to others, but is going to benefit you through new friendships that are formed and a whole new part of your life opening up. All right, now that feels complete to me. So if this reading spoke to you, I would be so grateful and appreciative if you liked this video and left a quick comment, because this is the way that it's more likely that others will be able to see these readings. And I know that people tend to be very interested in these messages from deceased loved ones, tarot readings, and these are some of the more popular readings that I do with my one-to-one clients as well. So I would love to have more people be able to find them. So I'm going to send you love and blessings. And also, I have a monthly tarot forecast by zodiac sign. I do a weekly tarot reading for the week ahead. Many other kinds of readings that you will find here. So please subscribe if you want to, and explore if you'd like to see more of the kinds of readings that are here on my channel. All right, love you guys, blessings, and hope to see you in one of my videos coming soon. All right, group 3. Thank you for joining me as I shuffle the cards. Please think about the kinds of messages, the things you want to know about your deceased loved one or your friend who has passed. And you chose the Queen of Cups, so we're looking at an adult, anywhere from adulthood, however you define that, to old age. And we're looking at a female here. So I'm going to give you a moment of silence to think about what you want to know. All right, group 3. So we know in these group tarot readings that they're not going to be as specific as a reading that was for you only, one-on-one with me. But because you focused on the areas of interest, the things you want to know, my intention is that you're going to get at least one important nugget of information that's going to give you some insight into what you want to know. So, one more shuffle, and let's go. All right. So what can I tell you about your loved one? So she's saying that, or she's letting me know that she was kind of a toughie with a heart of gold, though. So let me give you a couple of options here. Okay, so here's how you're going to know if I have your person on this reading. So I gave a couple of options because more than one spirit can come through, and I want to make sure that I hit as many of you as possible. So we've got either a person who was kind of a tough person with a sharp tongue but with a heart of gold, or we had somebody who was an extremely hard worker, maybe with a little bit of a martyr complex. We're seeing someone who didn't enjoy her life as much as she would have liked to. So if either of those apply, I have your person, I think. If neither of those situations do apply, and the person you're thinking of was a younger adult, you might want to go take a look at my reading for group 2. All right, so let's move on. For the people with this profile that resonates with. So this was also a person who lived with a certain amount of superstition, but also had this ability to make things happen in her life. So we're looking at a hardworking person. We're looking at a person who might have had kind of a tough life in many respects. But we're also looking at a matriarch. We're looking at a person who also had a certain amount of power in life, and she knew deep down that she did, but maybe other people did not. And so she wants to let you know that, yes, things were tough. Yes, she wasn't always the easiest person to get along with. How do I want to say this in a way that is nice? She was very concerned with making sure that everyone in her sphere was safe and cared about. She's saying that a lot of things that made her behave the way she did was because she was so afraid of insecurity. She was so afraid that she wasn't going to be able to take care of everything and everyone. And what she regrets, what she feels sad about, is the fact that her love didn't come across as much as she wanted it to. So if this was, for example, a tough love mother, or a tough love aunt, or even just, someone in your life that seemed to always make things harder on themselves and sometimes even harder on you, this is something that she is so much regretting, and she wants you to know how much she loved you, how much the things that she regrets were all about taking care of everyone, making sure that nobody ended up out on the street, and then having enough to give when times got tough, or having enough to give in times of difficulty. So it's not that she didn't want to give to you. She was afraid she wasn't going to have it to give at the moment that it was the most important, she's telling me. So here's the happy family that she feels that she really never got to have. And here, if you look at this card, the Ten of Cups, here she is taking care of things in her life or trying her best to be a good friend or take care of people in her life, but she's kind of frowning. She just never felt comfortable. She never felt that she was doing it good enough. Hanged Man in reverse. She never felt that she was getting it right. And she's saying that she died with that. That was one of those things that she never got to work out in this life. And she was more in her head than she was being present with everybody who was around her. She was always in a hurry to get somewhere that she felt she didn't have enough time to get. I mean, there was always something to be busy about, she's saying. Let's see what else she has to say to you. I mean, she's definitely expressing a lot of regret, but she's trying to tell you why she did some of the things that she did. Okay, messages for your loved ones, though. What do you have to say? All right, so she very much feels like she was a destructive force in some people's lives, and she's regretting this so much. She wants to have your forgiveness. So how can you show her this? I mean, she wants to feel that even though she's no longer with us, she wants to feel that you're all reconciled. And she's saying that you're all reconciled. So she's talking to more than just one person here. She's talking to more people than just you who asked the question. So if this is within your belief system, and I feel like if you're asking for messages from deceased loved ones, then in that case, you are open to this kind of thing. Talk to her. Have it out with her if you need to. She's saying to me, I can take it. I can take it. I know that I was tough. I can take it. Whatever you can dish out, I can take it. Now, I'm also getting the message, though, everyone, group 3, that I'm hearing this person, but I'm also hearing someone else talking to me and saying that she's too hard on herself. She's too hard on herself. Okay? That you knew that she loved you, or that some of you who are here viewing this reading, you knew that she loved you. Why was she so hard on herself? So 2 things here for you to do, group 3. So if this person was a huge source of sorrow in your life, if you felt like you never got what you needed from this person, then it's time to go ahead and have a frank talk with this person and, say what you have to say. What would it take for you to forgive? Like, have that conversation. You might have to have more than one conversation with this loved one, because she really wants to feel, is there a way, she's saying, is there a way that we can make this better? Is there a way that I can show you my love? Is there a way is there still a chance somehow that I can show you how much I care about you? And is there a way that we can all get back together? So this is looking to me like it might be a longer process, because here's how she's feeling. She's feeling, I ruined everything. I ruined everything. So she's having trouble being at peace and resting in peace because of this. So do have a talk, whether it's you go someplace alone or you sit in your car and you have a conversation aloud with her, or just in your mind, or whether you write some journal pages or whatever. But perhaps ask for a real sign so that you will know that this person heard you. But see what you can do, because this person is very present and very much wants to find a way to make this up to you and to explain herself. So that's what I have for you, group 3. If this reading did speak to you, I would be so grateful if you like this video and leave a comment. Let me know how it did speak to you. And that is the way, some people ask, why is that so important to do? Because it allows this video to speak to other people and communicate with their loved ones. So, that is my purpose in doing the reading. So I would very much like more people to be able to see this and hope that it would speak to, that the right people find it. So I want to send you lots of love and blessings, and just let you know that I have monthly tarot reading by zodiac sign forecasts. I do a weekly tarot pick-a-card reading, so there's all kinds of other readings here on my channel. I would love you to check some of them out. Blessings, and thank you for being here with me. Hope to see you on one of my future videos real soon. Welcome, group 4. So as I shuffle the cards, please focus on what you're most interested to know in this reading, who you would most like to have come through. So you chose the King of Cups, so that means you're asking about a male person who identified as male. And someone who would be an adult anywhere from, whatever you conceive of to be adulthood through old age. So we know that these are group readings, and you won't get the degree of specificity that you would if you did a one-on-one messages from departed loved ones reading with me. But still, by focusing on your intention right now, you make it more likely that I'm going to pull cards that will have something to say to you. So let me give you just a brief moment of silence. All right, here we go. All right, we're seeing kind of a tough guy here. So how will you know if this is applying to the person you're interested in hearing from, or if this is a person that you actually did know in your life or not? So we're looking at a person who was more obsessed with his work and his career than he was with people. We're also seeing someone who tended to spend money as fast as he made it, with kind of an impatient, angry temper, and kind of unscrupulous. So he didn't really much care how he got to where he wanted to get. So the ends justified the means for this person. Let me see if I can get a little bit more light on the subject. Okay, so, and in fact, someone imperious, someone who felt like my way or the highway. So if this is resonating with you, then I think I may have your person. If you don't know anyone like this, if this is not the person you asked about, nor is it anyone that you know who has passed, then you might want to take a look at group number 2, which was the young adult, adolescent through young adulthood reading, and see if your person turns up more likely in that group. So that would be group 2 in this reading. So let's move ahead. If what I've just described resonates, if you know this person, let's move on. Because even now, this person is making no apologies for the way he lived. He is not, especially, so we've got the Page of Wands in reverse. He just can't put up with, especially if your person was your dad or a mentor you looked up to. This person just can't stand it when young people whine. He's saying, this is not how we did it in my generation. He's saying that it just drives him crazy when people think the world owes them a living. He had to work for what he had. His parents didn't bail him out. He created himself. He made himself. And he doesn't see why other people can't do that too. So this is a totally unrepentant person. So I've got to say, all right, guy, let's speak to this guy. Okay, well, you showed up. So do you have anything to say, though, about the person who wants to contact you? Do you have anything that you want to say? Because you showed up in this reading, so I believe you're here for a reason. So what do you have to say here? All right, here's what he has to say to you. He actually has something useful to say. All right, so if you are here wanting some advice from this hard-ass person in your life, he's not going to make nice to you. But he is going to say that, look, all you have to do is go and get it. He says, if you think that you need my approval, you do not. He says, not any more than I needed approval. The fact that you want to do whatever it is you want to do is your sign that you can go ahead and do it. He says the one regret is that he didn't bother to encourage you. He's saying the one regret is that he was so involved in himself. Because whereas he was never going to be warm and cuddly, he was never going to be that kind of person, he felt like he did have the knowledge to make a difference in your life, but he didn't do that. But he's not a person of regret. And he's saying, I did it, you can do it. And here's what we have. So we've got this sun card. So we've got this little baby in this particular representation of the card. And we've got the lollipop up here. And all the baby has to do is crawl forward a couple of steps, not far at all, and it will be his or hers. Okay? So this person in your life is saying, it's not that hard. Don't be afraid that it's going to be too hard. It's just a couple of steps away. Just put one foot after the other, and you'll get it. he says what he's seeing for your future is that you're not going to have to do all of the kind of dastardly things that he had to do. So you're not going to have to make deals under the table. You're not going to have to take some things that aren't yours in order to have your dream. That is not, he says, that's what our generation had to do, but it's not what your generation has to do. And he's leaving you with the Ace of Pentacles. And this is, in this particular deck, in the Dreaming Way Tarot, this is like, this coin is floating in the air, and it's saying to me that he's saying it's just a flip of the coin. Not everything is, he says, you don't have to cry over everything. He's saying, I am proof, he says, I'm proof that you can make a hell of a lot of mistakes and still end up just fine. He thinks it would be a good idea for you to go out and make a bunch of mistakes, just to prove to yourself that you're going to be okay at the end of it. So he says, he says all of life is a flip of the coin. And whichever way it lands, you'll still be okay. Okay, I think he has a little bit more to say. Let's just see. Yeah, he's saying, you're your own worst enemy. And he's saying, and you're blaming that on me. And I'm saying what he's saying. I wouldn't put it that way myself. But he's saying, you're hurting yourself. He says, you're not hurting me, you're hurting yourself. So he said, he wants to be less the focus of your attention. He said, leave me be and create your own life, because he says it's beautiful. And even in the beyond, he just doesn't have that quality. He says, I don't know how to love, he says. I don't know how to love. I still don't know how to love. I need one more card here. Okay, so I wanted to ask him, okay, but do you care about these people at all? I mean, do you care about the person who's asking the question at all? Or do you just have no care about this? And he says, yes, he does care. And he says, if you start making moves, he will help you. But he needs to see you get into action first. He needs to see that you take a step. And then if you take a step, then he will be behind you. Knight of Wands. He will be behind you in your endeavors, especially anything financial and anything practical, because those are the things he knows about, and he can only help with the things that he knows about. All right, that feels complete to me for today. I would love to know if this reading spoke to you. This is one of the toughest ancestors or the toughest loved ones that I've ever had show up in a reading. So I would love to know if some of you, if you felt the person you were asking about coming through, or whether there's someone in your life, this might not be the person you wanted to hear from, but do you know who this person is? And does this make sense to you? So if so, please like this video. Please leave me a quick comment so I can know how this hit with you. And those likes and comments are super important in getting these readings out to more people. So that's why I do ask for those. Sending you lots of love and blessings. And just to let you know, there are other things on my channel that you might be interested in seeing. I do a monthly tarot forecast by zodiac sign. I do a weekly pick a card tarot reading, and then there's lots of question and answers and other subjects that I do pick a card readings here on the channel. So once again, thank you so much. Sending you love and blessings, and I hope to see you in one of my videos real soon.